Hey guys, so this video is about how to double and triple your leads by using our custom response form. So this is something that we do for all of our clients, but it's also something that we get pushback. Clients either take a really long time to fill this out, they have incomplete answers. We just get a lot of resistance with this kind of stuff. So I wanted to really explain why this exists, what we learned over the last 5 years of being involved with this space and what we learned from having clients, and also like why do we do this? So the first thing that I want to say is we used to have, like, for the first 20 clients that we had in our agency, we had easy clients where they had very simple to understand offers, SEO, web design, stuff like that. And then we had more complex clients where things, we really didn't get it. Like, we understood some of the jargon, but it was a very sophisticated field that you really needed a master's degree to start to understand some of this language. So these are fields like robotics automation, the medical, pharmaceutical companies, medical startups, things like that. So initially, we would handle the bookings for our easy clients, and then we would give our more difficult clients the leads themselves. One of the things that we found is that our difficult clients, when I say difficult, I say quote unquote, across the board, we're booking about 25%. They were talking to 25% of the leads that we gave them. And we were like, okay, can we double or can we triple this? So we came up with a best-in-class system. So we looked at dozens of campaigns. We're like, what emails work the best for a custom response? Let's give these templates to our most difficult clients, have them rewrite them in their own words, and then aggressively book calls. So that's why we're having you do this, because what you want to do is maybe you get 10 leads, and instead of talking to 2 to 3 of them, if we leave you to your own devices, you just email them, you call them, you try to set up a call. What if you talk to 5 out of 10 or sometimes 8 out of 10 of those leads? So that's really the goal of this entire process. That's why it's so important that you give us accurate, detailed responses here. So this first question, can you give me more details about what you do? This is an example of, these are 3 different examples of templates that all work really well. So we do a consultative ROI-driven approach to the development of new products. We offer a white glove boutique service encompassing every aspect. So PMBA, design, development, QA, DevOps, big data reporting. You can see already this is a more sophisticated market where people need a lot of information. So there's a partnership deck, there's the website, and then there's a call to action. Let me know if you're interested in discussing what we can do for you. Now, this is a more aggressive approach, this second example. Hey, we're a bit maximized for the next couple of days with onboardings and projects. Let's do a quick call at 10 a.m. your time for a 15-minute call. If that doesn't work, don't worry about it. Send me a couple of times that'll work towards the end of the week. So a lot of times what happens is you don't know who's really interested or not, especially if you're giving away free stuff. So this example too, by asking for a 15-minute call, you will immediately know if the prospect has genuine interest in your service versus they just want your sales asset. They just want a free audit. They want 1,000 free leads. Like whatever you're using is sort of a bribe to get their information. They just want that, and they're going to move on, and they kind of say yes to every cold email that offers them something. So this is a really, really good way to know. You give them what they want, and then you book them in and you just see what they do. It's win-win-win. So they either show up or they say, hey, that time doesn't work for me. Can we do Tuesday next week? Or they completely ghost you. And I'm sorry to say that if they completely ghost you, they were never going to pay you $1. When you give someone something for free and you ask for 15 minutes of their time and they say no, it's a micro test for their level of interest. It doesn't mean you can't sign them up in the future, but you put them in a long-term follow-up campaign and just send them an email every couple months. And this is a letter from the CEO You can see pricing. Here's a quick video. We're a minority-owned business. We're women-funded, women-raised startup. If you can mind if we give you some feedback on how to use this best for, and send some samples over. So this is another example. This is kind of a hybrid of the two. So take one of these that you like the best, and I want you to rewrite this in your own words. And sure, we can talk. So they're interested, they want to hop on the call with you. And then we just use the same booking script that we had from example 2. And then this is another example of when, with cold email, this example 2 is when you're messaging them as the CEO or as a C-suite, and you're not going to be on the call. But you don't want to make the client feel like they're getting handed off to an inferior status person. So this is a really good template for passing it to the sales rep. And then if you're doing a Loom call to action, this is an example of a really good one where you're sending like a video and then you're doing a soft ask for a call, or you can make the ask more aggressive at the end. So you just pick one of these and just rewrite it in your own words, because we want to make sure that everything we do, it sounds like you. And then how much does it cost? The same example, you can estimate and supplement with a deck, which we suggest. You can give a range of pricing. You can give the bottom line. You can choose whichever one of these you want. But at the end of the day, like you want to figure out the best way to handle this. Now, this is very, very important that you guys fill this out in your own words, because just like all of the emails we're sending, we want to make sure that everything we do, a lot of times we combine these things. So we have multiple custom responses for the same, we'll stack different layers. But if you fill out these pieces correctly, we're going to get really, really good input. So we can really communicate as you to the client. And because you're getting 2 inbox managers that are answering emails for you about anywhere from 10 to 14 hours a day, depending on your time zone, please use us. Okay, so this is part 2 of the custom response form explanation. So I want to go into how this is actually used. So let's say, for example, Billy Bones emails your outreach domain. Maybe he's, remember Treasure Island. So, hey, how much is your service? Can you give me more info so we don't waste our time on the call? I'm also traveling next week, so can't talk anyway. So we cobble together your custom response from answers to create a personalized reply for Billy that sounds natural. It sounds like you. It makes sense. It has industry jargon while providing all the info that he's asking for. Our goal is to get him on a call with you. So we say, hey, Billy, put together an overview for you. To be fully transparent, the minimum size we target is more than 10K a month in revenue. However, we actually do have a starter package. This works for another client. If you have value, let me know if you're still interested. I'd love to chat more. And then they're like, hey, I want more details. And then we respond and we just book them in. We use our normal booking script that you guys remember earlier from the beginning of the last video. Now, here's what we do if they no-show. With follow-ups, one of the things that we found is there is no significant difference between 3 follow-ups and 17 follow-ups. From a cold outreach perspective, you're actually better off reaching out fresh 3 months down the road. You can reach out to cold leads once every 3 months, once a quarter, than just doing endless follow-ups. Hey, is this still of interest? That just ends up pissing people off. So 3 ends to be like there's no statistical difference that between sending 3 follow-ups and sending 80. So, but there is a huge risk of getting into spam, and then you get less and less results overall because your emails get flagged. And then countering warm no's. So we actually just had a client, a bunch of these, but a really cool one is the Ritz-Carlton. So you want to have a response for when they're like, hey, I'm just not interested. Like, this is just not my cup of tea. And we have a couple of examples of responses for these. We find, I don't know why, but we find that the clients that fill this out in a really detailed way and really push to squeeze every drop from outreach and really try to win every lead that isn't financially unqualified end up making the most money. So I know for some of you guys watching this, you're like, oh, they're probably not a fit. most of our clients, the customer lifetime value is at least $70,000. Please, please, please do your best to fight for each and every one. Cold email is very surgical. We work really, really hard. These are B2B leads that in most cases for most of our clients cannot be obtained in any other way. A cold caller, you just get their secretary. An Instagram, Facebook, Google ad they're never going to see. It's only through cold email can you get a lot of these people. You want to fight for each one, even if it feels like a waste of time, even if they tell you, hey, we don't have budget for this, but circle back in 6 months. You want to fight hard for these people, build those connections, build those relationships, and over time you'll see the results.